Well, all right, let's talk some Justin Fields. I thought this was one of his best performances. You might say this was his most promising performance. I think the performance against the Lions was probably a better all-around performance, but there was kind of always that lingering, well, it was against Detroit. And I'm not saying San Francisco is like a dominant team, but they're at least a competent team. And Fields showed a lot of flashes. It was not a perfect game. Like, he still takes too many sacks. There still are those nitpicks I have about his game. But if he plays like this consistently, you've got a good quarterback. So that's the fun thing about Fields. So let's get into the film study. Let's talk about what he did so well for the Chicago Bears. So let's start off with this one. This is going to be a good example of one Fields has guys to throw to. He looks better, which is something that sounds so ridiculous to say, but it's legitimately something you kind of have to say. I feel like people don't pay enough attention to the receiving core. I've been talking about this a lot this season. It's a real important aspect of football. On this play, it's going to be zone coverage, and this is going to be kind of a schemed up play. I thought that, listen, Matt Nagy wasn't there. This is still a Matt Nagy offense, but part of me kind of feels like, a Matt Nagy offense might be kind of okay if it's a different play caller, which is weird because he was at one point a play caller for the Andy Reid offense, so it's not like he's never been good at that kind of stuff. But that might be, a better offense is a Matt Nagy-led offense that's not led by Matt Nagy. I mean, really, the answer is that the best offense for the Bears would be one that doesn't have Nagy included whatsoever, but that's a conversation for another day. This is a good concept, though, against zone coverage. The 49ers ran a lot of zone coverage, and you can scheme up against zone coverage a lot easier. Like, the way this one works is it's pretty simple. You have a receiver just run further deep. Another receiver kind of runs into where he was. You're going to clear out whichever defender is covering that zone. This kind of stuff can work. Look at how right when this play starts, so you're going to see there is a player who gets open. So good job by the Bears. They got stuff schemed open. But what's worth noting is that as long as Fields is running the ball effectively, Fields can force teams into zone coverage. Fields can get you to kind of say like, okay, we can't play man against him. He's too good at running the football. Let's play zone. And then you can scheme this kind of stuff up. So on its surface, you kind of think, okay, receiver got open, no big deal. But there actually is an element of Fields, just his running threat is going to help you. This works for Jalen Hurts. It works for Lamar Jackson. This kind of stuff does happen. And look, really accurate throw, and they're able to pick up a first down right here. Let's talk about his running game for a second. I've said this, basically since I started covering Justin Fields' game, is if I'm wrong about Fields and Fields is actually really good, it's going to be because I was wrong. I didn't pay enough attention to his running ability, because his running ability is fantastic, and that can legit change the game at times, and it did multiple times in this one. The way this play is going to work is it's going to basically be an option play. Fields fakes as though he's going to hand it off, and then he's going to go up to the top of the screen. There's also some passing options as well on this play, so it's always designed, it's always designed for Fields to take it himself. There's never a running play that's an option on this play. And so, look, Fields takes a snap. He does fake the handoff. It did well, but, there is like a San Francisco player right there who was unblocked, who you would think could run over and make this tackle. But this is kind of what Fields can do to you, is that you have a regular quarterback or even like a decent running quarterback. Like if Mitchell Trubisky is here, I don't know if he gets to the edge and gets the first down here. However, as you see, Fields does, and this kind of makes you feel like, okay, we can't really play certain coverages. And if you can do that as a quarterback, that's putting yourself in a massive advantage, and it just makes things so much easier for a play caller where you kind of know what's coming. It's going to make that stuff easier. So the running game absolutely, helping. Like, obviously, we got to break down this one. This one was awesome. I mean, this is exactly what you're hoping for if you're a Fields believer, is stuff like this. This is why you draft Justin Fields, because the way I look at a lot of this stuff is, compared to replacement level. So if I see a play where a quarterback makes a fine play and, it's sort of a replacement level play that, a replacement level quarterback would have made, by replacement level, that typically just means, your average backup quarterback. And so when I evaluate quarterbacks, I look for the plays that you make that an average backup doesn't make. And this is the definition of one of those plays, where it's going to be Fields is going to take the snap and roll out towards the bottom of the screen. You have a tight end go in that direction. There's also a play action in here. So sort of similar to the last play. They ran this a few times throughout the game, and it seemed like this time it finally caught up with them. And look, as you see, there's kind of a fake jet sweep there. I put the I just realized I messed up the graphic. I put it on the wrong guy. But, fake the jet sweep. That was the fake handoff there. However, for San Francisco, they're kind of all over this, right? Defender who's on the edge just goes straight for Fields, which is what you want to do in this situation. Good job by San Francisco. They got burned a few times, but eventually figuring it out. But here's where the added benefit of having a Justin Fields comes in. First, he looks like while slipping still finds a way to juke out a defender. So already right there, you've kept the play alive. You could at least chuck one down the field and hope someone catches it, which is already a benefit. But of course, Fields wants more than that. And he notices the other defenders, and he's thinking run all the way here, which with his legs, that's the right decision. As you see, he is going to be able to, juke out a couple of guys, and he's going to eventually get into the end zone for a touchdown right here. One of the better plays I've seen from him, period. Really awesome stuff. So again, the running game for a quarterback, that makes it so much more difficult to defend against for a defense. But honestly, this play was my favorite play from Fields, which is going to be a passing play, kind of. It's still going to be, again, a very similar play. They're getting him outside the pocket. Seemingly, that's the thing they made an effort to do in this game, and for a good reason. It was working. So do it, especially against this 49ers team. I think it was a good decision. So Fields takes the snap, and you're going to see that so he makes this throw off balance, kind of throwing across his body. And right here, this is really fascinating to me because when I saw this situation, I said, oh, he just threw an interception. Because, there was an opening with the tight end on his one-on-one matchup, but another defender sort of steps in front. I'm like, okay, this was a bad decision. He's going to throw an interception. No, actually, that's not what's going to happen. Just a perfectly accurate throw. That was a great catch, but that's where Fields was trying to put the ball. Exactly where he was trying to put it, on the move. Stuff like that. Again, say what you want about Fields. His highlights are the best in the game. His highlights are fantastic. Maybe not the best in the game, but his highlights are very good. Now, listen, he did miss some throws. There's no denying that. Quarterbacks miss throws every game. That happens. I'm not going to, completely crush him and say, oh, he missed some throws. See, he actually sucks. All you're hoping for with Fields is that he can kind of, make some progress. And I would certainly say that I think he certainly did make some progress throughout this one. So I think good stuff from Justin Fields. So yeah, really fun stuff. Listen, Justin Fields, love him or hate him, one of the most electric players in football. I really do believe that. And he somehow made the Bears somewhat interesting, and the Bears are not interesting by nature. So the fact that Fields can at least make them exciting to some degree is fun. So that's definitely very exciting. And yeah, how much do you take away from this? I think, again, you're looking for steps in the right direction. This is certainly a big step in the right direction. We've certainly seen Fields kind of bottom out sometimes, but a lot of it has been sort of his supporting cast. And again, kind of with rookie quarterbacks, I'm not looking for you to go out and just be dominant. I'm looking for flashes. Give me the flashes. I don't need the consistency now. That'll come later. Give me the the high upside, and we'll work on the consistency next year. I think that's how I view it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.